Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast. Happy Thursday, everyone. We are presented by ButcherBox. ButcherBox is offering our listeners an amazing offer where new users get free meat. Free meat plus $20 off your first box. Join today using our link, butcherbox.com/CHGO. Use code CHGO to receive this exclusive offer today before time runs out. What's going on, everyone? Adam Hoge, Mark Carman, Nicholas Moreano, the guy over there.
That's great.
The whole crew. Hey, Greg.
First, the earliest boo that I've received on the show. Thank you, Gregory.
I don't think that was the earliest.
That's okay. It's
We're booing you in the
awful
chat.
close.
There's a certain amount of people that boo you during the intro.
That's true. That's a good point.
Behind
Hope Carm's not here today.
There he is.
Don't worry. I got receipts.
We are in a full formation today because we are going to make schedule predictions. We were anticipating, like most people, that the schedule was going to be coming out today.
We're wrong.
You suck, NFL.
I don't think we were wrong. Obviously, the NFL did not do their job properly.
Bad job, Goodell.
They were consistent every, second Thursday in May. They were coming out with the schedule.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it is.
So what the hell, Mike North?
Well, you know what it is now all these teams have this production of putting together their schedule release video. So first you have to get the schedule from the league, and then you got to do this, elaborate launch
That's
video.
not the whole.
I guarantee that's part of it.
It's not.
I guarantee it's part of it.
It's not. The schedule did not get done. And I'm just playing Mike North, the whole crew at the NFL does a really good job.
Braggs is taking it personally because he is really the essence of a social media guy, and he knows the level of effort that it takes to put together a first-class video like that. So he believes...
The Bears finally stepped up their game last year with
The Bear.
The Bear.
That was
Great
good.
TV
That was
show.
good. Yeah,
that was good. So we'll
Very
see
good.
what they have coming out this year. I have sources.
Yeah. Regardless, the thing didn't get done. It's coming out next week, and instead we're going to make some predictions today on the show. We will also, the Bears released their rookie minicamp roster. We'll touch on that a little bit later on. Nick had a good 53-man roster prediction piece that came out yesterday at ALLCITY.com. We will touch on that a little bit towards the end of the show as well. But we have some specific questions with the Bears schedule that we thought would be fun to discuss on today's show. And let's jump into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
One other tease, and sorry I didn't bring this up in the pre-meeting, but at some point before we leave it today, we do need to talk about the fact that people are aggregating Greg Braggs' comments on the team. That's the greatest accomplishment in the history of this show, and I am, quite frankly, horrified for the world, but that's amazing. Congratulations.
Now I'm back to being a Fields propagandist.
This is amazing. But
When did you ever stop?
I thought the best part of it is they
Some point
they kept
in early
all,
January.
all his ums and ahs and commas. Like they didn't clean it up at all for you. They gave the full.
So that means they just had like something transcribe it, post it.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Is this even a real outlet? What was this? No, we'll save it for later.
Yeah,
All right.
it's great.
Yeah, thanks for trying to derail
I'm ready.
the topic 4 minutes in. We'll touch on that later.
No problem.
All right. First question we are asking, who will the Bears play week 1? Now, we have a little bit of information on this because we know it's not the Packers. We can rule that out. The Packers are opening up in Brazil against the Philadelphia Eagles. And I was thinking about this. I still feel like with Caleb mania, all this attention, I have to think the Bears are featured with a pretty decent game in week 1. Like, I'd be surprised if they're not. So I look at the top of the division, who won the NFC North last year, and I'm going with the Lions. I think Bears-Lions week 1 makes a lot of sense. And I'm taking it a step further, too.
Ooh.
I think this is going to be on Monday Night Football.
Do you have where? Going to be Soldier Field or Ford Field?
I would guess that it's a home game. Because I think if you're trying to feature Caleb Williams in week 1, you'd like to do it in front of the home fans. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's where my head's at. Obviously, we don't know. And also,
we know.
I think people, but every year and this is, I think, an important thing to set up for this whole conversation as we talk about each one of these things. Every year that they now introduce, we're going to do a triple header on Christmas Day, even if it's on a Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Or now we have a Black Friday game we got to address. And then there's now this streaming thing that we're doing on Friday of week 1. That complicates the schedule even more than it already is. That's the real reason why I think it's getting pushed back, because there's so many different permutations that they're trying to figure out. You also are balancing even smaller things that people don't ever think about, like, the Ravens and the Orioles play right next to each other, and the Orioles happen to have a home game this day, or they might have a playoff game this day. Like
Taylor Swift has a concert.
Well, sure. Yeah. I mean, so
great variable, really good.
So it's hard. It's hard. But anyway, that's what I'm going with. Boom. Week 1. That's my week 1 prediction.
I like it, and I thought about it, but I've got us playing Detroit on Thanksgiving, and I feel like maybe 2 late season matchups because the Bears are going to be at the top of the division. So I went for a quarterback matchup here and a division matchup. JJ becoming the starting QB in Minnesota. We got the 2 rooks going. Big story. Let's go JJ. Let's go Caleb. I got a lot of my matchups are based on Caleb versus somebody. So I got the Bears and the Vikings. And let's put it at home. Let's put it at the great Soldier Field, because we all know the Bears belong at Soldier Field on the lakefront forever.
Nothing wrong with highlighting storylines there. Like you, Adam, I also have the Bears playing the Lions in week 1. I have this one also at Soldier Field because of things later in the year that I think will happen with the Bears' schedule. But I think you're trying to match up Caleb with a team that the Bears split the series last year with Detroit. So I'm really curious to see how that one would match up week 1. Caleb debuts at Soldier Field against the reigning NFC North champions. So
yeah, I'm in the same boat. Corey and I talked about this on Monday nights after dark as well. So I know you guys have cheated here on this exam, but I agree. Lions, I think, is the best chance. Like, if you had to rank what are the best options, I think Lions at Bears or Bears at Lions. That's the toughest one to decide. Now, if Lions-Bears ends up being a Thanksgiving game, that certainly plays into this. And I'm with you, Hoge. Like, the decision for the league, do they let week 1 primetime Caleb's debut at Soldier Field? I mean, that's a big game. But you could also make that primetime week 2. Like, you have so much going on week 1, you could make Caleb's home opener week 2
the highlight,
and now it's by itself. So I think Lions is the best, whether it's road or home. I think is up for debate. Then maybe it is like C.J. Stroud versus Caleb Williams, but that would be on the road to start the year. You know?
And that's one of the things, like, kind of doing this exercise. There's a lot of good quarterback matchups.
Yep.
That are on the table.
The funniest one would be Bryce Young versus Caleb Williams, the last 2 number 1 picks. If that was week 1.
I'm sorry, the Panthers aren't drawing shit.
Right, they suck. It would literally that would be the gift, the last gift the NFL would give to Chicago.
If that's a primetime game, it's a Thursday.
No, I'm not even saying that'd be primetime. Yeah. That'd be either a noon or a 3 o'clock game for the Bears to one more, and Ryan Poles to one more time just smash it in the Panthers' faces.
Yeah. The Texans are interesting. Here's the reason why I didn't peg the Texans as a primetime game, and especially not week 1, is I know it doesn't necessarily totally matter, but that's the Hall of Fame game. They're kicking off preseason with Bears-Texans.
Yep.
And it's already a primetime window. Granted, those players aren't going to play most likely.
Oh, it's fair, though.
We don't know.
Teams.
So maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe I'm putting too much stock into that. Fine, but to me that's a little weird to have that be the Hall of Fame game, and then we're also gonna have that be a primetime game in week 1.
No, that's a very good point.
I don't, even though I don't necessarily expect Caleb Williams or certainly CJ Stroud to play in the Hall of Fame game, but
I mean, most of the time you don't play the team in the preseason that you play in the regular season.
yeah, I know
right?
this is a weird wrinkle, but
yeah.
you know, I think it's a special circumstance with the. It does happen every once in a while, but yeah, typically you wouldn't. You don't see an opponent that you're facing in the season be a.
Now to Mark's team with Minnesota, I think it's just a risk for the schedule makers to put Minnesota or Washington as the week 1 opponent, and banking on the guarantee that J.J. McCarthy or Jaden Daniels 100% is starting week 1. They should be. We've talked about this before. They'd be stupid not to in a lot of ways, but it's also not a guarantee, and the schedule makers can't make sure that happens.
Fair point, but it still would be Bears Vikings, and I don't have us in prime time on that day.
3 o'clock, noon, nooner,
nooner, baby.
Nooner.
Let's start the season at noon at home.
NFC North noon
Bang
matchup.
bang, NFC North matchup. Let's go.
Well,
The Texans thing that you're bringing up, I got to be honest, I put the Texans in my primetime. I did not consider the preseason game, so that makes me feel a little less confident in that. But I figured CJ and Caleb on primetime makes a whole lot of sense on a Thursday night. Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
yep.
Can I ask you this one last question real quick? I'm sorry, real quick. Am I stupid for wanting Caleb Williams' first snap to be in Canton, Ohio? Like, I know they're not going to play starters in a first Hall of Fame game, first preseason game, but I want it. I want Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze's first snaps in the NFL to be Canton, Ohio.
I mean, there's a chance.
Starts in Canton, ends in Canton.
They are rookies. If they decide to give them a series in Canton,
Hand the ball off 3 times.
I'm not going to complain about it.
I bet he does play.
It's possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule it
Possible.
out.
I'd be shocked if CJ Stroud's playing.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's possible. I wouldn't. I don't.
Start your career in Canton, end your
in
career in Canton.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Let's put as much weight on his shoulders as we possibly
He's
can.
putting the weight on his own
Yeah,
shoulders.
yeah.
He's not ducking the smoke. And neither should you.
He wants it.
He probably would want that. But if you're making decisions, if you're putting players at risk over nostalgic crap like that,
Run the
You're
T,
doing- you're doing
the
it
T
wrong, yeah.
formation.
We're just trying to, the Bears will be trying to get him as ready as he possibly can be for week 1. And part of that will be to take advantage of the Hall of Fame game. Just have him go through the process. I can already hear it from the Floos. We got him in, we got him out. It was clean.
Tyson
And-
Bagent
and we
in the
liked
Hall
it.
of Fame game, and then he ends up a Hall of Famer on the road.
We all know that Tyson is headed there, and he's going to learn.
okay, enough. Let's keep this moving.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep. We're only 13 minutes of the show, and I'm going to kill you guys today. It's a new record. All right. Next question is how many primetime games and which opponents?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Fun one.
Now I already gave you one, but I'm going with the max. I think the Bears are featured a ton in primetime. They always are, even when they suck. And now
Yeah.
they're on the come up, and they have Caleb Williams. So I would be shocked if it's not the maximum amount of times, especially with all the options now. And the Bears have shown a willingness to be willing to play 2 Thursday games in a season. They've done that the last 2 years, right? Last 2 years they had 2 Thursday games, or was that just last year? Now I'm
I think it
was
the Commanders like the last.
yeah.
He's in it, too.
if you
last year,
Yeah, but they also had Thanksgiving 2 years ago.
Yes.
So the max is 5. Can you? So if you schedule 5 right out the gate, can they not be flexed into any primetime games the rest of the year?
That's where that. No, you can be. So, I don't know if this rule has actually changed the last couple of years. You can play 6 because you can be, especially because in the last week of the season, you can be flexing the prime time regardless of what the rules say. The way this has always been, because I've been pretty well connected when it comes to TV stuff over the years, and the way it's been explained to me many times is, regardless of what the rules say they are, if at the end of the day that the TV networks, the teams, and the commissioner want to make an exception, they could do whatever the hell they want.
Right.
At the end of the day. So I think even if you're only allowed to be scheduled to 5 games at the start, I'm going 6 because I think that they're going to be flexed into whatever. So I'm going. I gave you that Lions one. I think you're almost always guaranteed to have a Packers game.
Yep.
Be in prime time. I went 49ers, partially because of TV networks, and the 49ers are obviously, that's still going to be a great matchup. I went Rams, again, because it seems like Bears-Rams is a popular pick when they play each other. It seems like it's always one of these primetime games.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football seems to really love those two markets. Sunday Night Football loves Bears-Packers in primetime, and they love especially at Lambeau, and they love Bears-Rams. So that's another one. I also went Commanders because, again, TV markets, you got big markets, and now you have the number 1 pick versus the number 2 pick.
Yep.
So that checks a lot of boxes. And then I also went Patriots. Same reason. You get Drake May, Caleb Williams.
Good one, yeah.
That was a Monday Night Football game 2 years ago. So for my criteria, I primarily look at, what the markets are, what's going to draw on the ratings, and then you also look at the matchups, which, of course, a lot of times is quarterback-based.
So there were 6 teams that played 4 primetime games last year: Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills, and Chargers. The Bears are going to be one of those teams this coming year. I am going to bank on that. And so I'm similar to Hoge. I've got the Commanders. Let's go. Let's have the matchup. Let's get all the Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams that we can possibly get. Let's do the same thing with the Texans, as I mentioned before. Let's do the same thing with the Panthers. Let's get Bryce Young back out there. And then I get the Rams because LA loves Chicago. They love that matchup. And then I've got a double up with the Green Bay Packers. A late season Packer flexed in because it's just that amazing in the division. Double dip Green Bay both on national TV because Jordan Love and Caleb Williams and the Bears and the Packers is everything the Bears.
Has that ever happened?
It's going to happen this year.
I'm
making the prediction.
I guess the only way it could happen is if the first one is already slated as national TV, and then it gets.
That's how that would work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if not, I don't even think they could. I guess they could, like Adam said.
There's no rules.
I just have never.
Rules get broken all the time.
It's going to be a late season flex, and you're going to look at me like, how the hell did you know that? And I'll tell you how I knew that, and when I tell you how I knew that, when I make up the lie of how I knew that day.
By the way, just to clarify, you can be scheduled for 6 games out of the gate.
I was just looking. I saw that in the chat a little bit.
4 teams
earlier.
were last year: the Chiefs, Chargers, Bills, and Cowboys.
Shit, we should add more.
More
You guys
primetime games for the Bears.
That's what I thought. You confused me with your 5 thing. Like
I thought it was 5.
No, it's 6.
Okay.
I just wasn't sure if it's 5 out of the
Maybe that
gate.
changed after the 17 games extension.
So you can get 6.
I think originally it was 5.
Yeah.
Because every year the Bears would get 5.
They always do. And actually, so we're talking, I think we've had 6. I'm actually sticking with the 5 here. That was, I don't know, I was looking at like teams that were ascending. The Bears are a very similar situation to what the Lions were in 2023, what the Bears are going to be in 2024. They had 5 primetime games. And the 5 opponents that I have the Bears playing in primetime, very similar to what the guys just said earlier: 49ers, Packers, Lions, Commanders. And then I'm throwing in the Cardinals as a team that can be that can be played in prime time. Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams, you have Marvin Harrison Jr. over there. I think there's some interesting storylines, but also just some primetime matchups that you can watch in that game. And maybe the Cardinals will be better this year. That it will be an interesting matchup, I think, later in the year. So 5 for me, not getting to the maximum 6 that you guys have had. What you got, Greg?
Yeah. Well, now that I found out we have 6, I want to add the Commanders to my list. The reason I didn't think the Commanders would make it is because we played them in primetime 2 years in a row. So really, they're going to do it 3, but why not? It's Jaden Daniels versus Caleb Williams.
If
one
they did
versus
the last 2
two.
years when that wasn't a great matchup.
Yeah, that's true.
You
Yeah.
had Carson Wentz playing.
Both ended up being entertaining games.
Carson Wentz, Sam Howell. Now you can have Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels versus Caleb Williams. So, yeah, I think that we've got, Lions and Packers, and I definitely have the Texans. I think the Texans, you can lock that in. C.J. Stroud versus Caleb Williams. That is 100% going down. So, yeah, I just wish I would have done 6 now that I knew the new rule here. So, and then I guess my other question is, Hoge, somebody asked it in the chat, does the London game count as a primetime game?
Because it airs.
It's going to be on at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Super.
No, it'll probably be a night game. Well, actually, yeah. I don't know.
When the Bears played there in 2019, it was
Like a noon game.
It was
here.
a noon game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, they started later out there. Okay.
But regardless, it's not in primetime because we're not going to be
Yeah.
in London at midnight with a kickoff.
Right.
It's not a primetime game. It's either at 8:30 in the morning or noon. And it feels like all of them last year were in that earlier window.
Yeah, I don't remember
Which
a night
I would
one.
always do. I love the early windows. Oh, we can have 4 windows of football today instead of 3?
Let's do it. More.
And by the way, I'm not against, a window in the middle of the night, too. Let's have a midnight kickoff. I'll watch it.
Okay. No.
Carbs.
Enough. It's exhausting. Christmas Day,
Football never sleeps, Carm.
Wednesday. Can everybody get a breath here,
Look,
please?
the NFL is intent on making sure the divorce rate in the United States skyrockets. They're gonna ruin Christmas, Thanksgiving, and all the holidays. There was one year the Bears played on Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's.
Yes.
And
Isn't that 2
I
years
think
ago?
my wife was gonna kill me.
I remember that.
And
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't make the schedule. I apologize, and I still love you very much. So don't be mad at me.
Actually, on top of that, they also played on my birthday that year, too.
Also,
So I was just like,
if they want to have the Super Bowl on Valentine's Day, I'm cool.
She should have known.
Let's do that.
She should have known when you were doing play-by-play of rando hockey games in college that this was going to be your life.
Okay. I'll let you have that conversation with her. In the meantime, I think we should talk about Shady Rays.
introduce an old friend.
Yeah, because I love Shady Rays. And yesterday, I was rocking my Shady Rays because it was beautiful out. And, of course, because I have like 4 or 5 different pairs of Shady Rays now.
Keep them everywhere.
I keep them everywhere.
I
I got them
ordered
ready
2
to
yesterday.
go.
He was just doing a Carm. He didn't have the ad read.
My wife
loaded
ordered
up.
2 pair. I ordered 2 pair.
I wore my Shady Rays yesterday too. Actually, maybe 2 days ago. But I looked at my Shady Rays yesterday. They looked amazing. I'm so happy with my Shady Rays. I love Shady Rays.
Today, the weather I would describe as crap. So I wouldn't need them today, but I will need them tomorrow. It's summertime. We're gonna need them. You need them too. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. That's the best part. They're an independent sunglass company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. I rated them 6 stars because just like the NFL schedule, you can have 6 stars.
Yeah.
Boom.
You get 6 primetime games, you can have 6 stars. Greg, he thinks you can only have 5 stars. I went 6.
Sorry.
He was going to say he wasn't listening.
I know.
He was texting somebody
Shady
from,
Rays.
from
Shady
TTNL. Go ahead.
Regardless, Shady Rays probably has a style in your favorite team's colors. And here's the best part about Shady Rays. Because if your shades ever go missing or take an unexpected hit, don't sweat it because they have the most insane protection of all of eyewear. Every pair is backed by lost or broken replacements. And if you don't love your shades for some reason, you can exchange them for a new pair or take advantage of their worry-free return policy within 30 days. There's just no risk when you shop, so go check them out. Exclusive for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com. Use code CHGO. You'll get 35% off. Polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars, sometimes 6, by over 300,000 people.
35. Bang.
It's a lot. Every time I see our lower third of Shady Rays, looks like they're on a beach somewhere. Perfect for Shady Rays. What's also perfect to have in your everyday life is ButcherBox, you guys. And I got to tell you something of the benefits of ButcherBox. First, peace of mind. Easily find high-quality meat and seafood you can trust. 100% grass-fed beef, free-range orange chicken, pork-raised crate-free, and wild-caught seafood. All amazing. Humanely raised, no antibiotics or no added hormones, and ultimate convenience. Look, it's delivered right to your doorstep. We all got our butcher boxes. It's literally right outside the doorstep. Free shipping as always. And it's curated to customize box plans, so you can just customize what you want in your awesome butcher box for your needs. Our guy, Steven Nicholas, our producer, beef guy.
All steak. That's all I ordered.
That's all he orders.
I got ribeyes. I got strips. It's going to be great.
So you can customize that. And it's also an incredible value, a variety of high-quality cuts, and amazing value, exclusive member deals, and recipe inspiration, guides, tips, and hacks. I need some tips. ButcherBox will help me out with that. And ButcherBox is offering our listeners an amazing offer where new users get free meat plus $20 off your first box. Join today using our link, butcherbox.com/CHGO, and use the code CHGO to receive this exclusive offer today before time runs out.
All right.
I think we have a great question from the audience that we need to bring to the show.
Rex, would you like to answer it?
Because I work my ass off
Okay,
here,
yeah.
Logie.
The
That's
podcast
why.
listeners don't know what the question is. Please read it.
Logie, 65.
Please be a professional for 5 seconds.
Loki.
Straight. Let me put my phone over here. How does Braggs earn a paycheck checking Twitter all day? Hey, Jake. How do I earn a paycheck around here? How do I earn a paycheck around here? The chat is asking.
Somebody in the chat wants to know how Braggs gets a paycheck for checking Twitter all day long.
Says sign me up.
Maybe Logie doesn't know, but I literally got this job because of Twitter.
Nobody works harder than Greg Braggs.
You're goddamn right. Nobody's better looking. Nobody works harder.
God, he stepped on
Nobody
the punchline
is
again.
louder.
Nobody interrupts.
Nobody doesn't listen more.
Nobody
stuck on the
chews
first thing you
gum.
said.
Nobody
and
chews
slobbers
gum
all
more.
themselves.
Nobody's more humble.
Nobody has read less.
Nobody reads less stuff.
Are you done?
I think we're...
Are we done here?
We made it
think
to
we
the
answered
end.
Can I go back to looking at Twitter now? Because the reason is because the Bears just dropped a video where Odunze said brick by brick. And you know how I get when you start talking about the bricks.
Do you remember that one show you did without your phone in front of you?
That was such a good show.
That was probably
Not
the
a good
best show
show.
we've ever done.
Was that even
And
a whole show?
If I paid
think it
attention
was.
during the ad read, then the chances of me interrupting the ad read and making the ad read longer increases by 200%.
Good
so
point.
I do you a favor.
So he just does that the rest of the show.
Right.
You are
Give and take, man. It's give and take. Give and take.
We do not. He said, I'm just giving you crap. We do not give crap on this show.
No crap. Given.
This is a
Ever.
super serious show
All the time.
where we talk football
Every day.
and no crap is given, no laughing, no smiling. Back to the schedule prediction. And by the way, if you are new to this channel, we do pre and post game all season long. We're talking about the schedule release. And you can watch me not listen to Adam Hoge and Mark Carman and Nick Moreano when he checks in from Soldier Field all season long on our pre and post game shows. Very excited for all of that. Corey Wooten going to be with us. I'm not going to listen to him either.
Great show. All right. Can we
We're still
Back to the schedule predictions. Who are the Bears going to play in London?
Ooh.
This one we're actually going to go through pretty quick. Because
This one
I
was
think we all agree.
well, it's been
How many of us will survive London?
rumored
3.
so
Two of us are not.
I believe that Greg is actually flying earlier in the week.
We'll see. Let's see how it goes.
Well, I really hope that is the case because I don't think that I don't have.
You're not going to get across the Atlantic.
I'm not making it, and neither is anybody else. If you're on the same flight with this guy, it's just going to be a problem. He's going to have to be strapped in. But I think they played the Jacksonville Jaguars team. What do you think?
The exact same thing that you're thinking, Carm.
Yeah.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's been out there now for basically months.
Forever.
That it's going to be October 13th against the Jaguars. So we'll see. We'll see. And then,
Hey, man,
matchup.
A lot of people
I'd
reported.
love for it to not be the Jags.
Who's your preference?
Why?
I don't know. It just seems like a boring ass game to me. Like,
But here's the thing. They
Trevor's not boring, dude.
It's 2 former number 1 overall picks. Get quarterback going off.
I get that.
Okay,
Caleb
but-
outshines,
but- okay,
like-
we got to think. You got to think of the London games as not really about television, as much as it is the international
Right.
thing.
Poll.
And right now, the Jaguars are playing 2 games a year in London,
Right.
so they're building up a fan base there. That might already be bigger than their actual fan base in Jacksonville.
Probably.
And the Bears have a huge fan base there too. So in terms of a local game, it's a pretty good matchup.
Mm-hmm.
As we just went over before, that game can't be in primetime back in the U.S. So you have a pretty good matchup from a quarterback perspective, in my opinion, Trevor Lawrence versus Caleb Williams. From a football standpoint, I think it's a pretty decent game.
Mm-hmm.
But from a rating standpoint, the Jags aren't bringing it in, right? But locally in the UK, I think that's a pretty good matchup. So that's why I do think it makes a lot of sense for that to be the game that gets played at Tottenham Stadium.
It's fair. And if you were saying, like, what are the most intriguing games at Soldier Field, and you had to lose one of those being a home game.
Right. Yeah. And we already know the Bears are not in love with the idea of losing one of their home games. They fought that for years. They finally have to do it.
Was this the first year that the Bears
Yeah.
were going to get 9 home games?
But it was never going to happen. No, they had a couple years ago.
They had
too.
9 2 years ago?
Yeah, but this was the Bears were never going to give up a home game before there were 9 home games. But they are losing a date because remember they shortened the preseason, so you are actually losing a home gate out of this because every year you play 9 home games, you lose a home preseason game. Now it's not quite the same thing, obviously, but it is still a day on the calendar where fans are entering Soldier Field and spending money on concessions.
I'll say
and
this
tickets.
much: when the Bears played the Raiders at Tottenham, that was an insane environment, and it did feel like a home game. As the Bears came back, they were down 20-0 at halftime. And all of a sudden, Chase Daniels throws a touchdown to Allen Robinson in the back of the end zone to take the lead. And that place went bananas. And it's a very unique crowd, but you're right, Adam. It was predominantly Bears fans. The thing that was unique about it, though, is when you go to a game in London, all 32 teams are represented, like as far as fan
You see
bases
all the
are concerned.
jerseys
You
out
see
there,
jerseys of every team as you walk in. So it's like one of those opportunities for anybody that's just a fan of the NFL to see an NFL game. But I think that was maybe, like if you ask people that go to the London games, a lot, all the different teams, I think that was probably one of the more exciting games they've gotten because Bears fans made it like a home environment. So when the comeback came on, you could feel that energy that you feel over here in the United States. So if the Jaguars do have a huge fan base over there, and then you put that against the Bears fan base, that should be a pretty riled up crowd.
And by the way, just a reminder, we're going to tell you a little bit more on the details on this later on in the show as well. But come with us, truefantravel.com, where you can put down your deposits right now. You're guaranteed a spot. We're going to have shows in London. We're going to have events, apparently a romantic river cruise.
Can't wait.
Where they're going to let Braggs be the captain.
I'm going to definitely do the
Titanic.
Jack Dawson thing with Carm at the front of the boat.
I'll make sure to document it. It'll be great.
Carm's going to let you float away and not let you on the floating door when the boat sinks.
You cannot fit on this board. I'm really sorry. You're a disgusting human being that needs to swim to your death. Bye.
Jack!
Never let go. Whatever. Rose.
100%.
They could have both
She
fit
let
on
go.
there.
100%. If I was on the door and we were about to die in the cold water and there was room on the door for Carm, I would let Carm sink right to the bottom with the ship.
I thought that was going to go completely different.
You're Rose. I'm Jack.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll take my death and die with dignity. You will live in the selfish land of loneliness. You're Rose.
You're the weather today.
Yeah. What are we on today?
Depressing weather. I'm not really sure what's going on.
I think it's
yesterday was fun, and then today's been very
horrible
dark.
since the moment I walked in.
Late.
Oh, is that Pete?
That is pizza, Nick. We are
probably not for us.
You just brags yourself. We're gonna stay focused.
I was going to say that was like a dog seeing a squirrel.
I'm sorry.
Pizza?
I haven't ate yet.
All right. Meanwhile, I'm going to tell you about Prize Picks, the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. The easiest, most exciting way to play DFS, just you against the numbers instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks. You pick more than or less than on a 2 to 6 player stat projection and watch the winnings roll in. I think we've all been here trying our skills on Prize Picks during the playoff basketball season. Mm-hmm. It's the most simple way to get in on the action. You just select 2 or more players. You can pick more or less on their projected stats. You submit your lineup. You have a lot of fun watching the games, and you can win up to 100 times your money this basketball season. They got quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, an enormous selection of players and stat types. So it makes Prize Picks the #1 fantasy sports app. Some examples that you can do. You can put a couple players together. So you have Anthony Edwards for more than 29 points, and then go Jokic for more than 10 rebounds.
Oh yeah, I like that.
So the way you can combine this makes it a lot of fun. You have a player on each team.
Go more with Anthony Edwards for the rest of your life.
He's
the guy
awesome.
is ridiculous.
So good.
He's awesome
So
for the
fun.
rest of your life. And then I'm looking forward to Caitlin Clark too. Three-pointers made.
Yep.
Go over the
Points.
yeah.
She doesn't live in
Go
the
more
selfish
than-
land of loneliness.
More than on all of those 3 points. And on go to prizepicks.com/CHGO. Use code CHGO for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/CHGO. Use code CHGO. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Love our friends at Prize Picks and love our friends at ComEd. Nick, it's getting easier for businesses to switch to electric vehicles. That's something that we can all get behind. It's for the health of the planet and for the well-being of all of us who share it.
That's absolutely correct there, Mark. The electric grid is actually evolving to meet your cleaner energy needs as we move with confidence towards an electric tomorrow. Whether you have one delivery van or a whole fleet of shipping trucks, ComEd can help guide you to make the changes that make sense.
What should business owners do then, Nick?
They should go to ComEd.com/clean to learn more about the resources, fleet rebates, and infrastructure incentives available to help businesses go electric. If you own a business, don't wait. Start making your plan today to switch to electric vehicles. Good for business, good for the planet, good for all of us. Go to ComEd.com/clean.
Did you
say ComEd.com/clean?
I did, Greg, as you hijacked this ad read. Yeah, go now and see how going electric connects us to a better way of doing business and a better future for generations to come.
I love Greg. It's great that he contributed like that. He was listening.
Hey,
he wanted to contribute. It was lovely.
He just couldn't sit in silence.
No, he could not sit.
10 seconds is what happened.
I understand.
I wanted to prove that I'm paying attention during the ad read while I was checking Twitter.
Which weeks will the Chicago Bears play the Green Bay Packers?
Not week one. Not week one.
I went with week 2 because I don't really know why.
You know, honestly, with this one, it's
I was like, my second week is the one I really want to talk about, and then I was like, they tend to, I feel like, have the Bears play early, do the matchup early in the season, then late in the season. Mm-hmm. The Packers will be coming off that Brazil game. It's an opportunity to, remember, injuries are a factor in this. Like, you don't want guys to be hurt, so it's, you do one of those earlier in the season, there's a higher probability people are going to be healthy.
Yeah.
So I just said, Packers get a home game week 2, coming off that Friday.
Makes sense.
I'm assuming after playing in Brazil, they'll get a home game. I don't know. So Bears, Packers at Lambeau, week 2, after the Bears have the home game against Lions week 1. That's just what I'm going
Happens
with.
a lot.
The one I want to talk about week 17, though, is Christmas. Crap. So, because I'm assuming that a Wednesday game would count as the next weekend coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be week 17. I did the calendar. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure that's week 17. So anyway, point is Bears, Packers on Christmas Day.
If you're going to do it on Christmas Day, I guess do it big, right? Bears, Packers.
That'll either be the best or worst Christmas ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who needs to see our families when Caleb Williams is our family now?
Is that what you actually tell Jenny at night?
Oh, that's what she gonna hear.
No gifts this year. No.
Well,
That was the most redneck you've ever sounded. That was gonna hear. Football. Hell yeah. I ain't ever coming home. Gonna drink my Miller Lite at the bar and watch these games.
Caleb's my family now.
You take care of Addie.
You take care of that.
I'm
Adam
married to
did say
football.
that NFL is looking for high divorce rates.
Yeah,
I
let's
don't
do
know
it.
what else.
That will do it.
Yeah. I got
As Gary brings up, Bears would have to play the previous Saturday then. That's correct, Gary. That's exactly what I'm going for. Saturday the week before. Another opportunity for a primetime game or big window.
Gary's smart. I wouldn't have thought of that.
So Saturday before Christmas, Wednesday, and then you get a long break before your week 18 game.
See your future, be your future. I've got week 4 and week 12. I probably should have gone a little bit later for the second
Yeah,
one.
see, your whole theory earlier about how the Packers game was going to get
Now
flexed now gets holes poked in it because now you have them in week 12, you idiot. Look who
You-
didn't do any
please-
work on this.
Please return to Twitter where you belong for the rest of your life. Watch it play out the way I tell you it'll play out. Like everything else that I have laid out for you beautifully that you denied at the start. Probably should have made it a little bit later. You're right. Should have made it a little bit later.
That's all you got to say.
But
except for all that other stuff.
But they're, when they go into week 12 and they both have 1 and 0 losses, bang, week 12. Let's go.
Okay.
Favre and Rodgers, Rob Daniel. That was
Wow.
not that was not intentional, but
intentional.
that's a guy who is creative right there. I like it.
Yeah, got to put it together. I have the Bears playing the Packers week 3, so still very early on in the season. And then week 16, we've seen the Bears-Packers last year to week 18. That did not end very well for Chicago, where they had an opportunity to knock out the Packers, but did not. So week 3, week 16, and maybe that week 16 game. That's deep enough, I think, where very easily could have some playoff implications at that point if the Bears and Packers are where I think both fan bases think they can be towards the end of the 2024 season. Gregory?
Yeah, I got the Bears in week 8 and week 18.
Later.
Finishing the season in Chicago, week 18, primetime stage.
Snow.
Last year was in Lambeau. This year's in Chicago for the right for the playoffs. Maybe the division. Who knows? But we're going to dial it up. Jordan Love, Caleb Williams on the lakefront, week 18. And we will be tailgating that day.
Yelling it out to her.
We ain't checking out.
He's yelling
this
at
year.
Kevin, who's not listening, and that's okay. Braggs wants to tailgate week 18.
All the way through.
No chance.
We're going to the Super Bowl. All right, Jake.
That's a Jake issue.
I think. Yep, Jake gave the
Jake
thumbs
is
up.
saying yes. All right, great. Week 18.
Tailgate.
Have a great time.
I have it in my contract. I am not tailgating below 40 degrees.
Because I saw some people in the Discord asking, like, hey, is there going to be tailgates for every home game? Because last couple of years we've stopped, but I am going to make sure every single game, I don't care how cold it is, Adam Hoge's going to get his ass out there
No chance.
and tailgate with the people.
Yeah.
Carm's going to come out there with his goofy fucking socks and tailgate with the people.
Wow. Shot at the socks.
I don't know why my socks got to be on blast, but they're great socks, and I will be there because I am dedicated. And whatever you want to do, Greggy, you want to get out there at 6 a.m. and set up.
Look how stupid these socks are.
Call Steven.
Stole those socks from a 9-year-old.
These are great socks.
Mine have the Chicago
Thank you.
skyline, so mine are, I think.
These are.
I'm confused by
My weirdest camera shot
I like
ever.
the shoe, and I like the sock, and I like myself. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. I'm tall enough, and I can be a podcaster.
Affirmations.
Jake's got a note.
Now notes coming in from upper
Yep,
management.
just got a note from upper management just to prove
Please say you're
tailgate. This says tailgate week 19 playoffs
There it is.
Never a doubt.
right here. Right here.
What's the top
Read it
say?
and weep. It
up
says
to the camera there.
it says Carm is fired. Right here. Right here. I just got a pink slip.
The pig slip. No pun intended right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing I noticed about that is the color pink. That's what I noticed. I'm confused because Gary's saying that they can't play the Packers in week 8 because it would be after London, but the London game would be week 6.
Just tell Gary to shut up and have fun with the exercise.
Listen,
But he's right.
go at Gary. Go at Gary.
Don't ever question him.
Go at,
Oh, but I think he's off a week, right?
go at Gary at your own peril.
Week
Matt-
6 would be the London game.
October 13th.
And why? I guess why would I guess I also
I don't do math.
Math does you.
Also, it's not a guarantee. I don't know. But whatever. Meanwhile, which holidays will the Bears play on is our last question that we are predicting here. Which holidays are the Bears playing on? Now, we got some options. Halloween happens to be on a Thursday.
Can play.
There's no way Carm checked that on the calendar.
Not a chance.
Yeah, no chance he was aware of that. But that was an option that you could have predicted. Obviously, Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Obviously, Christmas is in play. I already kind of gave mine away, so I'm not going to spend too much time here, but I did say Bears-Packers on Christmas.
Feels like a turkey day to me with the Lions. Let's go. I hope it's the 11:30 game, and I hope we can
Enjoy your Thanksgiving.
do a remote show on that day.
Wow. I also have the Bears playing the Lions on Thanksgiving, and then I took into consideration Halloween being a Thursday night game. I feel like that's Bears Commanders. Thursday night, they've been playing them prime time the last couple of years. We'll put that one in prime time.
That would be
Thursday night.
spooky.
And I picked mine out of hopes and wishes. As we all know, I have no interest in Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving sucks. And so for me, I've got things to do with Addie on Halloween and Christmas, enjoying our life. So I don't want any Bears games on those days. But if you want to knock out Thanksgiving because it sucks, let the Bears play the Lions on Thanksgiving. Lions week 1 at home, primetime Sunday Night Football. Lions Thursday, Thanksgiving at their house. Lock it in.
I don't think I can handle his Thanksgiving slander. I'm
Yeah,
just going to ignore it.
I'd love Thanksgiving.
We
So
can save it for later.
I'm having anxiety right now about being here on Thanksgiving. But I can't
You
wait.
predicted it.
I did. It just feels right. Like, why wouldn't you want to put the Bears and the Lions on Thanksgiving this year? Let's go.
Well,
And let's not
When's
go.
the last
just
game
give me the
time they played on Thanksgiving? Was
2
that
years
the
ago.
2 years ago.
Eddie Jackson pick 6?
No, that's
No,
way
wait, it
longer.
wasn't 2 years ago.
They played
Because I covered that game in Detroit 2 years ago.
It was the year that
before
Nagy got
that.
fired, so it's 3 years
Yeah.
ago.
Oh, 3. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He was going to get fired, and then he wasn't going to get fired, and then we all knew he was going to get fired, but it wasn't going to be on Thanksgiving, and they had that weird press conference.
That's right.
And that's when he asked George McCaskey who he thought should be the quarterback, and George looked at him and said, "This is a problem. No coach has ever asked me that
breaking
question."
news. Gary Ross in the chat. Hoge is correct, and I was wrong. I am human, per Gary Ross,
Well,
per Gary
that last
Rappaport.
part's debatable still. But can we screenshot that?
It's locked in.
Can we screenshot
Lock
that?
it. Lock
I
it.
might make it my avatar.
Gary Bot.
Gary, I love you. You know I love you. All right.
I'm quite frankly can't go on for the rest of the
The
show. I
new
never thought that Gary would ever
holistic
make
company
a mistake.
in the chat's asking what bar is the CHGO party going to be at in London?
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet, but
The best bar. It'll be at the best
pregame
bar.
spot
With all
the
the
day of the
moves.
game, right down the road from the stadium, is a bar called the Bricklayers Arms. So
Is that locked in?
no?
Oh.
What do you mean? It's not locked in. I'm
you-
saying there is a bar down the street from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium called the Bricklayers Arms.
I would like
and
to go
I
there.
am putting in a petition for that to be the pregame spot.
Well, I'll tell you what. Wherever it is, it's a great question. We're still figuring out these details, but here's the good news: is we have this great partnership with True Fan Travel, and True Fan Travel. All they do is make these great trips for true fans to travel on. That's why they have that name, and this is the greatest opportunity here with the Bears going to London, CHGO going to London. So right now you can go to truefantravel.com. You'll see a list of the events there. You click on that logo that you're seeing on your screen right now if you're watching on YouTube, CHGO Road Trip London, and you can put a deposit down. What does that deposit get you? It just gets you locked in, and then later on, once we have all these details figured out, you'll be able to customize your trip. Some of you will need flights to London, like us. We know we have a lot of international viewers that might not need a flight because they can take a train or they already live there. So you don't need that. You can customize that later. That's fine. We're talking 4 to 5 star hotel accommodations, close to all the action. The only asterisk on that at all is we are putting Braggs in a 1-star room.
He's not going to sleep anyway.
He's got to stay with Barlissimo again.
Jenny's coming, so we both have to sleep with Barlissimo.
This complicates
sounding-
things now.
No, but
Getting interesting.
so
That's amazing.
Yeah, we're getting the hotel accommodations are going to be great. There's a welcome event held at a London pub, private boat cruise on the River Thames, the all-inclusive tailgate party close to the stadium. You're getting a ticket to the game, transportation. We're going to have on-site trip coordinators so they can help Greg get through the airport.
right.
Do you know where I check in?
I mean, I got lost in Indianapolis, so I need a coordinator.
That's so crazy.
How do I get
so
my
crazy.
I hitchhiked in Indianapolis now.
So if you're somebody who gets lost, we got people to make sure you don't get lost.
Never been to an airport. How do I get my bags on the plane?
Greg trying to navigate the tube in London will be.
There's
Which
a
way
tube-
does this train
There's
go?
a tube?
That's
Do
what
these
that's what
stairs-
they call the subway there.
Do these stairs go up or down?
I would hope you would know.
Breakfast at the hotel every morning, and of course a meet and greet with the CHGO team. I can already guarantee it's gonna be more than just a meet and greet. We're gonna
We're gonna be hanging
green
out.
the
be
entire
hanging out.
time.
That's putting it lightly.
Be getting drunk in my
So-
hotel room late at night.
You want to come to London if you're not excited about this.
And
And
they-
here's another reason to get the deposit in now, because you're locked in regardless of what the dates are. So they're going to help you.
And the nice thing
Yeah.
about the deposit too is it's refundable.
Yeah,
So if you
that's
put your
right.
deposit down, you decide something gets in the way
Something comes
schedule
up,
wise,
yeah.
you can refund, but you can reserve your spot. So
Yeah, and they made it clear that if your package that you end up customizing later ends up being less than what you put down for the deposit, you'll get refunded that difference too. So they're making it super easy for you. I promise. Go to truefantravel.com. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right.
Let's get John Mariotti in there, $49.99 super chat, big time out of nowhere. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Guys, can someone talk to the Bears and have them take a page from the Fighting Illini football uniform desk? Navy jersey, orange pants, orange letters with a Bears logo helmet. Google image this and tell me it's not lit. John,
Fighting a line. Let me check it out.
I like where your head's at here, John. Let's go. No, you don't like it, Hoge?
No. No.
So we're okay.
I don't.
The
I am
orange
on board with the
pants.
Bear logo alternate helmet.
I mean, we're looking at the Fighting Line. That's not piquing your interest there, Hoge.
I actually do like it more than the orange jerseys. If they went orange pants with the navy tops.
wait,
He's saying the orange pants, navy top.
What I'd love to see is the all whites.
The all whites. It
all
needs
white.
to be. It needs to
If
happen.
Caleb could do one thing for this franchise,
Oh,
Just that.
you put him in the Hall of Fame 30 minutes ago. But beyond
I know, but,
that,
like,
if he could do one other thing.
Right. I'm just saying, if everything else is a complete failure, just get us the goddamn white on whites.
You better do more
Bring
than
it back. I mean, we need the other things badly, but at the very least, can you bring back the goddamn white on whites?
Settle down.
It's the truth.
Okay, great.
And they're both, him, Caleb, and Rome, big Devin Hester fans. Devin Hester, white on whites, Monday Night Football against the Rams. The Bears play the Rams this year. You say it's on primetime. Wear the white on whites for the Rams game.
If you're going Almighty's,
circle.
if you're going Almighty's name in vain, I'd rather it not be about the white on whites. But you do you. That's cool. Hey,
I'm sorry.
Breaking news: Crystal headed to London, planning on being there.
Let's go.
Let's go,
go,
Crystal.
Crystal.
Let's go. Now
She's not invited.
she's what?
Nothing.
What did she say?
Nothing.
Not
I was
invited.
kidding. I was kidding.
Crystal, first class ticket for you via True Fan Travel. I'll talk to them. You got pull over there, don't you, Hoge?
No.
The face that Hoge gave to you was like,
Just saying.
Every person that gets a first class seat hurts my chances of getting upgraded.
He literally went
Selfish.
there. That's where his head was. That was the most transparent moment that Hoge's ever had on the show. Don't. You were going to start giving away the first class tickets to these people before I have mine?
On the flight, though, I want Carm to do the Russell Wilson workout routine.
that'd be
In the
amazing.
aisle.
I promise you I won't be sitting in my seat the whole time, so there will be something.
Ugh, I'm going to sleep.
We
I'll
gotta
vlog
find
it.
out that workout routine.
It's going to be great. All right. Hey, we got rookie minicamp this weekend. The Bears released the roster. A couple players I know Carm and Nick wanted to discuss. Nick, please help us get back on the right tracks here.
Yeah, actually, Carmen, I want to throw this over to you because you are doing some deep dive research on a particular player that is going to be highlighted over the weekend at Hallis Hall, and kind of just want to give you the platform here to share who that is.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nick. I really appreciate that. And Ian Wheeler
Yes.
is an interesting guy.
You found it?
No,
No. I know you did the research, though. It's somewhere.
like Nick had separate notes than I have on Ian Wheeler. I
Okay.
can't find those right now, but I have my own personal notes.
Oh,
well, first of all, great job by the Bare Bones podcast. Shout out Mason West, who's a longtime guy in this space. Used to podcast with Nick, great friend of Greg's. So he did an excellent job. And
You're an idiot.
so I was just watching, and this is available elsewhere too. But I wanted to shout out Mason for his niche that he's created. This dude studied psychology, behavioral disorders. If the Bears go and get Ian Wheeler, I know that being a good football player is not about intelligence necessarily.
We need him on this show badly.
But this guy,
It's true.
this dude,
behavioral disorders.
I'm telling you, listening to him talk, he went to Howard University. This guy would instantly be in the top 3% of everybody at Hallis Hall. I'm pretty certain. This guy, he is a high functioning brain human being. And he's also a running back who does special teams, who can handle kickoffs, who loves to block. So this is a versatile dude that maybe perhaps can create enough of an niche for himself that he get himself on the practice squad. When he was asked who his favorite running back is of all time, he said Adrian Peterson because he's never the nail and he's always the hammer, which that's not exactly and he loves his attitude. I'm assuming he's also interested in Adrian because he's a psychology major and the stuff off the field with the behavioral disorders maybe was something that he paid attention to. But on the field, the dude, nobody can take that away from him. But he can run, he can block, he can catch. He said he's working on his routes, punts, kickoffs. And one of the comments that he had on the pod there was that whatever he asked me to do, I'm going to do it. Loved his attitude, loved his intelligence, loved his versatility. Ian Wheeler, a guy I'll be paying attention to this weekend.
Yeah, he was 6th in all-purpose yards, 11th in rushing there. So Ian Wheeler has a very specific skill set, but it might just be enough to make this roster because of the new rule changes in the NFL. So he'll be a guy that we're watching. Another guy that I'm watching just based on the position is Jaquarius Spivey, tight end out of Mississippi State. He's a 6'5", 240-pound guy. Look, he wasn't very productive in college. Appeared in 52 career games with 8 starts, 27 of those games was at Mississippi State. He also had a brief stint at TCU, but that year in 2022 was his career year. And again, not mind-boggling numbers, 11 receptions, 136 yards, and a touchdown. But the Bears, if with Shane Waldron, like to utilize the tight ends. That third tight end spot, Steven Carlson, it's not a guy that's going to, be a lock. If there's somebody out of these undrafted rookies that can maybe make a splash, I'm just highlighting Jaquarius Spivey here. That.
Can we go back to the name?
Yes.
The way I'm looking at it, is it Jorquarius?
Mm-hmm.
Jorquarius Spivey.
Yes, I was saying Spivey. Jaquarius Spivey.
I don't think it's Jaquarius, though. I think it's Jorquarius.
They have the little pronunciation thing on the website.
Is it
Jaquarius. And
then why is there that extra R in there?
That's a great question.
Silent R,
I love this name, though. It's like my favorite name. Jor. So we're not saying Jor. So Jaquarius Spivey.
You got to ask the Spivey parents of the pronunciation. But
I'll talk to Spivey this weekend and find out.
there you go. That's one. Okay, that's another person to highlight. Then the last one, Keith Randolph Jr., defensive tackle.
I think a lot of Bears fans are very hopeful
Yeah.
for him, obviously being a familiar name from Illinois.
6'5", 300 pounds, 49 total tackles last season, 1.5 sacks, team captain, and he was top 5 in the nation in tackles per game among defensive tackles with 4.9. So it's a guy that was, making tackles, productive for that Illinois defense, and obviously he had a top NFL talent next to him making some tackles there as well. So Keith Randolph's another guy, and again, a position that maybe the Bears can add a little bit more depth on when you're looking at the interior defensive line. So Keith Randolph Jr.
Guy that I'm most curious about, or not maybe most. Keith Randolph I'm most hopeful for. But Austin Reed, the quarterback out of Western Kentucky, he was a Saluki at one point too. I just like the idea because I've heard people speak very highly of Austin Reed and last year where they struck lightning in a battle with Tyson Bagent. And I just love the idea that what Ryan Pace promised us and then failed to do, which was draft a quarterback every year and continue to fill that room out. They draft Caleb Williams, who is arguably the best prospect the Bears have ever drafted at the quarterback position, or maybe any position for them, number 1 overall. And they still double it down and get a UDFA in Austin Reed, hoping to strike lightning in a battle 2 years in a row like they did with Tyson Bagent. So filling that room out, there's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. And the team, up in Wisconsin has been doing that for how many years, and how many different quarterbacks rolled over even in the Brett Favre era. There was at one point there was 3 future starting quarterbacks in that quarterback room with Brett Favre. So there's nothing wrong with just continuing to try to find that. And the 49ers, with Brock Purdy, they had 3 different quarterbacks options with Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo.
The Packers took another quarterback this year.
Right.
They ended up with Michael Pratt from Tulane, who was actually was an
Senior Bowl
intriguing
guy.
Because who was that former executive for the Packers, or maybe current former, and he said one of their rules is to draft quarterbacks before you need one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rule that makes a lot of sense.
Well, I think that goes back to Ron Wolf, I want to say.
Maybe that's who said it. But still,
that was like
good practice.
Yeah.
And like Austin Reed, he's played a lot of football, just like Tyson Bagent did at Shepherd. Like, it's a guy that has a bunch of reps under his belt. So, he's also good friends with Caleb Williams. So there's a connection already there, right, when he gets into rookie minicamp. But it makes sense to at least take a gamble, right? Look at these guys in camp, see how they do in an NFL setting, and then whatever happens after that.
Harm's our quarterback guru.
Well, right. So,
panel,
he transferred to Western Kentucky. I mean, Greg, you obviously know this. He came over from West Florida, which is the home.
He was a Saluki, too.
Yeah. The West Florida is the Argos. And Argo is a great movie. And this guy.
Argo is an okay movie.
Argo's a great movie. He was a Division II national champion, man, 2019. He threw for 4,089 yards, 40 touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm with you, actually.
Sheet.
Let's keep. Hey.
Well, there's going to be 2 quarterbacks throwing footballs this weekend. It's Caleb Williams and Austin Reed.
Yeah.
All right.
I like it.
I'll be paying attention to Austin.
And yeah, you are, because you're going to be nervous. He's going to take Tyson's job. And you're going to cry about it.
Listen, all of us here at Secret Bagent, man, we don't sweat Austin Reed. We don't sweat Who's the other?
Like a company?
Svet?
That's
Say
cor-
Svet?
Secret Agent Man Incorporated?
That's correct. That's correct. We're swinging in from West Virginia. 4 years at Shepherd. Some said no good.
Can Jim Richels come to our London trip so I can drown him in the Thames River? Is that allowed?
Who's
No,
Jim
that's-
Richel?
That would be
Jim,
that
the
would be-
Lions fan.
That would be illegal.
Jim.
Not allowed.
Jake, can I drown Jim Richels? Please.
Head shake from Jake.
Said no?
He said
That,
no.
that would be a no. All right.
a-
Well, Jim Richels has he's allowed to say that to you because you just put Caleb over Butkus, Sayers, and Peyton, and
I said prospect, not player. There's a difference.
I understand. So you have a leg to stand on. You do, but
Got
he's
2 legs.
You do 2 pale, nauseating legs. You're absolutely correct.
I'm busting those legs out next week.
Please don't.
You need to get on
We
the
actually have a plan for
Cavs,
that.
yeah.
Steven and I have discussed.
Oh.
We're hiring you a Cavs coordinator.
What? You have giant calves.
Thank you.
I'm jealous.
Cavs coordinator for you,
Actually,
Briggs.
Hoge's also got big calves.
Let's get to the super chats for
Sorry.
the love of God, Steven.
Worked on legs today.
I enjoyed the show. By the way, special opportunity with rookie minicamp. I smell a diehard OT coming out this weekend.
Is that what that smell is?
Okay.
I smell it.
Carm's guaranteeing it. He'll take care of you.
I am going to be there for everything that we don't cover. Diehard OT this weekend. Yours truly, entertaining you. And you guys are welcome. Braggs is annoyed because he's not going to be at rookie minicamp.
I am a little annoyed.
and therefore he has nothing to offer on an extra diehard OT other than his own brilliance. So you're invited just because,
No,
yeah.
not coming.
I'm diehard OTing this weekend because you deserve it and I miss you.
Isaac Siegel, $5 super chat. My prediction, Bears primetime week 1, and Goodell will be in attendance.
Dun, 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 dun.
There you go.
Not
Isaac.
invited. Don't want Roger there.
Football CF Candy, £4.99 sterling. Says, I wish we did more to address the D-line and O-line. We might have the worst trenches in the division. Teams like the Rams and Bucks are better there. Free agency? Well, definitely needs to be some development there, no question about it. And then Michael McCoy, $5. This is LFG. Just pre-ordered my Caleb Williams jersey. Super pumped for this season.
There you go.
Go, Michael.
Get
Boom.
yourself some of our Caleb merch as well.
Yep.
CHGOLocker.com. Bang, bang.
This would be a good time, Carm, for you to welcome the new diehards.
Well, right. Thank you, Adam, for
Or
teeing that
talk
up.
about
but-
the new franchise
But
collection.
is the new franchise collection. There are 3 shirts available. Greg Braggs has bought up all the inventory, so it might take a second to get it to you. But there they are, tough as nails, air it out, and the franchise with the 18 on there. How sweet is that?
Franchise.
The franchise collection available. When you become a diehard, you get a free T-shirt, so you get one of those shipped to you just for being a diehard. How sweet is that? You also get a discount on merch going forward. You also get access to our Discord where you can be a part of Diehard OT over the weekend, where my special notes that I'm saving will be revealed on the Diehard OT.
Get a shout out.
And maybe Nick will even join in a Diehard OT to discuss his article over the little extra time.
Sounds good.
Sounds
Nick's
good.
wearing lion shoes today.
He is.
I
That's
did.
true.
I mean, it was
He's
for the
wearing
week
lion
one,
shoes.
Week 1 opponent.
These are kind of Detroity too.
We weren't talking about your shoes.
You don't like my shoes?
Those are just navy blue shoes. What are you talking about?
It's closer to the Lions than
That's not even close to Lions colors.
Not flexible.
He has the Honolulu blue, which is what it's called.
Wow,
Bet you didn't know that.
I did not know.
Definitely
And
didn't know
silver. You have navy blue and white.
Honolulu blue.
Yes, that's what they call it.
That's kind of cool. Not
How
gonna
do
lie.
you know that?
Because I cover the NFL.
And you
How do
looked
you
up-
not know that?
You looked up the Lions colors.
Lion?
No! I didn't look it up. I consume the content. Is it really called Honolulu Blue,
The
Nick?
Detroit Lions jersey colors are Honolulu blue, silver, and whites.
I'm kind of a jersey nerd.
Thank you. Now we're getting closer to how you know this. You definitely searched out that color because you're.
I didn't search it out. The Lions just released new uniforms like a month ago. It was a big deal, and I studied them and I read the stuff, and it said Honolulu Blue.
I mean,
Also, Honolulu is a great place.
apparently yes, that's another thing too. You love Hawaii, and you had a sense that it was a Honolulu.
No. Me and Chim Richels are friends now. He says Honolulu Blue and Silver is iconic. How do you not know that?
Because I don't care about
I just call
the
it blue.
iconic color of the Detroit Lions, Honolulu. They're blue.
One of the
You wear
oldest
blue.
franchises in the league. It's a well-known thing that they're Honolulu
One of the
Blue.
I'll never
worst
forget it now.
It's one of the worst franchises and most embarrassing franchises in all of football that was saved for a
that
minute.
might be true too, but their colors are iconic.
Navy blue and orange.
Can we just get back to the fact that you tried to claim your shoe? Your shoe is closer to Bears
I just want
collar than Lions.
I want attention on my new
We know.
kicks.
You could just stop
These
there.
These are great kicks.
I like this camera shot.
All right,
It's good stuff.
we can go now.
Okay.
Become a diehard.
Hurry
Get
up
yourself a free
before
t-shirt.
other people come in here.
Can't go
There's
because you
pizza.
still haven't thanked the new diehards.
Hurry up because there's pizza here, and when other
you
people
hungry,
show up,
Greg?
look, Lawrence is about to get a slice.
It's a sweet shirt.
That's
There's other people that are going to show
I
up.
see him right there on the
Looks like he's
screen.
going to prison today. What is he wearing?
WNBA.
Lawrence would be great. Lawrence would be great in prison. He'd make
Whoa.
if Lawrence was in prison, we'd have less people in prison. I mean, am I not speaking the truth? Everybody would kill themselves in the prison.
I mean, at least I got the joke early. You didn't have to explain it to that degree.
He would talk about how miserable it is here. Everybody would off themselves.
Oh, wow.
Will you please?
Okay. All right.
The diehards.
All right.
Brooks would have hung himself long before he got
Oh, Brooks, you're the man. Hey, shout out to our new diehard, Keith. I mean, look, consistency. He's out there. He every single day, and you think that Keith's gonna get tired. He doesn't get tired, and it's true that Keith needs some better dental situation. But Keith, we love you, and you're a member of the diehard
He's
family.
going Duncan Keith.
Now, what about our guy Peter?
Peter.
The great Peter.
Later.
I mean, he did get emotional when he didn't get to be the quarterback back in 8th grade, but he is one of the elite golfers you'll ever see. Guy goes straight out and dominates the course right down the middle every single time. And this guy knows the Peter principle better than the rest of the Peters out there. That's why he's the number one Peter. Peter. Diehard. Love him.
Didn't get that one.
Jonah. Jonah.
Hill?
Listen, people talk about Noah's Ark. It should have been Jonah's Ark. When the rain hits, Jonah is the ultimate umbrella. He protects you. All of a sudden there's rain. Next thing you know, there's sun. There's sunshine. There's warmth. When Jonah walks into the room, everybody feels better. Jonah. Welcome to the
Superbad
diehard
Jonah.
family. What's that?
super bad.
Super bad.
Absolutely. And then Matthew.
You had no idea what that.
I know the movie Superbad.
Oh, okay, good.
Thank you. Matthew. Oh,
Oh, I wish we were zoomed in for that.
just like this. You gotta give 6 martinis at lunch. Don't worry, Matthew's about making bucks. Matthew's not worried about the people. He's about swelling his wallet as fat as he can, so eventually he can give back when he wants to. Matthew,
God.
welcome to the diehard family. We love you. And is this real? We got Caleb? Kevin?
We got a Caleb.
Caleb is in?
A guy named Caleb?
The Hall of Famer before he even steps foot in the league. I mean, the top talent in the history of the franchise.
Savior to our
the
city.
The savior to the city, the savior to the Dyers, the savior to CHGO, the savior to Greg Braggs' family dysfunction that he talked about on the show, the savior to football, Caleb.
By the way, that bet that got made yesterday that Peter confirmed and he did become a diehard. What was the bet?
How many fucking slices do you need? You got like 100. You're 100 pounds. You don't need that many slices.
What kind of pizza we got? The Salerno's delicious. I love it. Thank you to our friends at Salerno's. All right. Caleb, you're the man. Welcome to the Dyer family. Love you all. And
what was the bet you made with Peter again?
About the punts, wasn't it?
That's
a
why
punt
I saw that it was confirmed, but then I forgot.
It
what
was
the bet.
lead to a safety, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so
You
know, I was
punt
watching.
inside
I
the
was watching.
5 that leads to a safety in the first 6 weeks of the season. Very specific bet. I love
thought
it though.
about
I'm
it.
in on it.
it was a great
depth.
bet by Peter because Peter wants to lose to me.
Okay.
But that's a nice thought.
Dr. Truth is wondering if Carm just had a seizure on the pod. He did.
Well, you know what?
And then Pizzatola says, I need a savior from Carm. And Philip said something I don't know that we want to.
I mean,
Philip said,
I'd
Carm.
like to address.
Should I read that or not, Steven?
Read it.
Carm
Everyone wants to know.
Philip says Carm pees sitting down.
Wow.
Philip, you get comment of the show. Listen, I know. I got. That's funny, Peter. I mean, Philip. And you too, Peter. Okay, we can go now.
Really? You'll let me go?
Yes, it's all over.
All right. I can promise you that is definitely the weirdest scheduled prediction show that you can find anywhere. And I take great pride in that, quite frankly. So thank you for being here today. We will be back tomorrow. Special time because of rookie minicamp. We are aiming for 3 o'clock. Could be flexible though, so be alert. I would say now's a good time to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and then you want to hit the notifications because tomorrow's a good day to have notifications enabled on the show.
Also, go follow our CHGO Sports account on Instagram. There's going to be some stuff on there as well, so make sure you go follow that.
Yeah, people are wondering about videos from rookie minicamp.
Yep.
There's a small portion of practice that we can take video. And those we'll put some on Twitter, but a lot of that will be on our Instagram stories. So, yeah, the CHGO Sports Instagram account, go check it out right now. We will recap everything. We got Floos talking tomorrow, Caleb Williams, Roma Odunze. It's going to be a fun day at House Hall.
Do not miss the show tomorrow. Do not miss the show Saturday. Do not miss the show ever. Tell a friend. Thank you.
We all silly like the mayor.